And welcome back to Music Freak Gaming. I hope you're having a fabulous day. It is a beautiful Tuesday here, and I hope it's a beautiful day for you wherever you are. And Nath, that looks like it's ridiculously early over there for you. What is it, 2 a.m.? That's crazy. Well, thank you for spending and sharing your ridiculously early morning hours with us here. So, let us dive into some create mod. We're diving back into going solo. Some vanilla Minecraft. It's gonna be great. Yeah, so I need to, I guess I don't need to, but I want to get started on an iron farm because I am going to need a huge amount of iron for some of what I'm doing. And unfortunately, the little iron farm I have back at the ancient city is not going to be sufficient. So okay, let's try this again, this time by actually landing on the right thing. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that hill and a fair amount of the blocks beneath it into an iron farm. Okay, it's going to be all sorts of fun, but what I need to do is figure out where the heck it's going to go. So, hang on. Sorry, I had to go turn that my fan on because it is a little bit warm here. Okay. So the plan is to take out part of this hill. Now, I'm also going to crash into the wall. That's cool. So I'm going to build into this hill, and I think I'm actually going to end up building... Here, let me free cam up. I'm going to dig into this hill, probably end up building up above it a little bit. Like there's a building that's sort of coming out as part of the structure, something like that. But I'm also going to be going down, 100, 130 blocks or so. It's going to be a little bit of a ways. So, to make that easier on myself, we're going to set up a beacon. Now, we'll get this started. Now, I have to tell you, I know, straight down. It's the way to go. How's it going, Tinker? How's it going? Yeah, drama. I know, right? All the drama. Okay, that's less cool than it could have been. Hi. No. You know, I've done enough recently. Okay. So, oh, look at you over here. So yeah, I was fortunate. I've had a couple of wither skeleton skulls, and I thought, you know what would be really nice is let's get a beacon, okay? Because beacons are cool. Also, apparently, zombie friends. Beacons are cool, and it'll make digging this out a lot easier. So I got really lucky. I went to another fortress I have. It's where I set up my blaze farm. And the first wither skeleton I killed dropped a skull, which was, you know, very convenient. I was happy about that. Unfortunately, when I went to spawn in the wither, I was really, lucky there, but I got really dumb. When I went to set up the area underneath the end portal so I could cheese the wither, because I hate fighting that thing, I spawned the wither in one block off to the side. I actually spawned it in one block forward, or one block back, I guess it was. And so there it is. It's stuck in the portal. It's dying, suffocating, wonderful. I take a swing at it and knock it loose. And next thing I know, I have a wither loose on the end island. Now, that sucked on 18 different levels. But one thing that was freaking hilarious was watching this wither chase Enderman all over the island. And the Endermen don't stop spawning, right? They just keep spawning. So it had no end of targets to go after. Unfortunately, it also meant that, wow, Wow. Okay. It also meant that it just wouldn't sit still, and I'm a bad shot as it is. So it took a while, and I died many times. But I did manage to end up with a dead wither and a beacon. So, yay and stuff. Okay. I think I'm going to go down to about Y0. That should be enough. I do need to be a little bit careful, which I'm not being, because I think there's a deep dark under me. So if it starts screaming at me, we're gonna end up having some issues. Also, it's dark. Yeah, see? Speaking of dark, yeah. Okay, so let's see now. Now, what I could have done and didn't was set up my all right, hang on. I happen to have a hoe with me. I didn't set up my warden trap, so this is going to be extra special fun. So I think what I want to do is I'm gonna go ahead and fly over there. We're gonna set it off once and get rid of that shrieker. And I hope that's going to be enough. So here we go. Okay. Well, that kind of sucked. Okay. Good news is there isn't a whole lot down here. It's just I absolutely missed the shrieker up there. All right, so let's see if I can get back up. Oh, I don't think I have wool on me. How far down did I end up missing it by? A fair amount, actually. Cool. All right, nice. That's strike 2. All right. Okay, there it is. And I don't have to worry about strike 3, I hope. Whew. Okay, got a bunch of those things around, but I think we're shrieker free at the moment. All right, where was my hole? Over there. Sweet. All right, let's see if I can float down here because I'm so good at flying. Hoo-wee. But anyway, it was good. It was good. Managed to get the wither out of the way, though, and I now have beacons, so we're going to make our way down here. Hopefully, I should grab some of this gold and this copper, honestly, while I'm down here. I got so used to having so much in the way of copper from Create Mod that forget that I actually need to get some here. All right. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to build 2, 3, and 4. And I hope I can do this without freaking out too much in the way of the deep dark here, okay? You guys go away. All right, so this is where we're going to be building our beacon. It's going to be great. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this is right, because it's a 4x4 base, I think, on a beacon, because I remember things sometimes. I'm using the wrong pickaxe for this, by the way. I'm using a Silk Touch pickaxe, which is really dumb. But this is where we live now, so... All right, 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, well, this is fine. We'll make it work. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sweet. So, now, here's the fun. I don't need this iron. I'm getting it anyway, but I can't get it. We're out of space. Because apparently, there we go. So here's the thing. I'm going to be building what is planned to be a 5 or 6 cell iron farm. So we're going to have 5 or 6 sets of villagers, which should be fine. This should give me all of the iron I will ever need forever, or at least until I build my sorting system, which it's going to take a little while, I think. Plus, it's not going to be complete until I get copper golems, because I'm going to use golems as the sorting aspect of the system. Okay. Which is going to be fun. I think it's going to be nice. It's going to be reliable. Not that the sorting system I had over actually on Tinker World, I think the last time I built one, worked great. It was just, it had potential issues because it was a multi-item sorter. It was hopper based rather than minecart based, which was handy, but it was just, you just had to worry about it a little bit if the world's ever unloaded around it. So not that it was a huge issue, but definitely something I had to be aware of. Okay. One. That's right. They've changed the iron sound, which is fine. It sounds cool. But, all right. So this is going to slide out that way. All right. 1, 2, 3. No. That's not where you go. All right. No, we're fine. We're fine. Everything's fine now. All right. We got this. Anyway, so as I said, it's going to be a 5 or 6 module iron farm. I'm going to build it vertically, which is going to be interesting. I'm going to be doing something a little bit different with this farm than I've done in the past. So it's going to be fun. It's one of the things I've been doing in this world lately, because obviously I'm not going to stop doing redstone-y things. That's what I like to do. But I'm going to be building some things that are perhaps maybe less efficient, but more fun. At least more fun for me. Or it's building things in ways that I've never tried before, or I've maybe heard about a little bit, but that's all I've done. I've just heard about it. So yeah, we'll kind of see how this goes, but you know, it's why I have a door powered by creakings, because why the heck not? I had more iron than that. I know I had more iron than that. Did I throw it out? I thought I'd gotten 4 stacks, or 2 stacks, which should be enough, but all right. Well, I guess it's not really. All right. Well, let's go see if I've got more iron somewhere. Well, that wasn't helpful. All right. Watch my epic flying skills, as I don't have any. This is a long way. Ack! Okay, it's a long way ack, okay? Turns out ack is an official SI unit of measure. Woohoo! Okay, sorry, I have to go through my door. Because it's just fun. There it goes. Alright. Anyway, and over the bridge. And let's go see what I've got in the way of iron here, if I've got another stack. Otherwise, I'm going to have to head back to the ancient city. Oh, yeah, perfect. Perfect. Alright. So that's good. Fortunately. Let's let's go ahead and bring a second stack of iron, because obviously I'm so good at judging how much I'm going to need. But, yeah. Yeah, we saw how well that worked out. There we go. It's one wall. There's no ceiling. But it's still fun. Anyway. So yeah, it's going to be... Alright. Let's see if I can get down here without splatting all over. That's not typically the way I like to do things. I know, I'm weird that way, but that's not to say that's not the way I do typically do things, because I have been known to splat a time or two. Okay. Sorry if it's a little bit dizzying on this way down, but okay. Whoa. Okay, splatting. See? Good at that. Right. My useless deep slate here. That was the nice thing in Create Mod, is I had all of the different things I could build out of the regular deep slate, not even the... I would say crumpled. Crumpled deep slate is wrong. The cobbled deep slate. But, you know, not here, unfortunately. Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Nice. Cool. Hey, Snoopers. Welcome in, welcome in. Glad to have you here. All right, we're gonna see here. We get my counting skills, which are obviously lacking on occasion. Okay. Sweet. Okay, jumping. All right, so let's take our beacon. Go with this. Okay, so wait a minute. I know there's nothing there. Okay. All right, we need haste 2. And go. Thank you. You know what I'll say to that? Yeah. All right. Sweet. Now, unlike the Ents, that's right. You know, I may have to go find that and make that a soundbite or something on the channel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Sweet. All right. Yes. So, unlike the Ents of Fangorn Forest, we are going to be hasty. All right. Let me go drop off some stuff and maybe get a couple of empty shulker boxes here. Because I would like to gather up a bunch of this terracotta if I can. Okay, stone, terracotta. I might end up needing a second terracotta box, which is totally fine. I know, look, I'm being organized. It's weird and stuff, but don't panic. Don't panic. Organization won't hurt us as much as we think it will. Okay? We'll be fine. All right. Hopefully I won't need the silky hoe. All right. Now, if I make this thing 6 segments long, I'm actually gonna have to go down 120-ish blocks plus. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway. You want to name a creaking tree beard? Yeah, that's fair. Treebeard. Oh, I forgot the other one. There are a couple that they name. One that hangs around with Merry and Pippin while the Entmoot goes on. Quick Beam or something like that. It's the closest thing to a hasty Ent, I think they describe him. Alright, so we're going to be inside this hill. I think... Yeah, Quick Beam. Okay. I'm actually at that point in my reread of Lord of the Rings. Merry and Pippin have just met Treebeard. So that's coming up, but all right. So I think, all right, let's start digging, and then we'll figure out exactly where this is going to sit. All right, because I do want to try to figure out where in this hillside I want this to be, and yeah, I do kind of want it centered in there. Probably. I said if it sticks out this way a little bit, that's going to be okay. We're going to be 11 blocks wide, I think. So, yeah, I know. And I only had to die many, many times to a wither to get it down. I was just telling everyone a minute ago that I had 2 wither skeleton skulls. And I thought, all right, I've got some free time. Let's see if I can farm some. First, a wither skeleton I killed, I got a skull. So great. Look, all this free time I was going to have. I'll just go cheese the wither real quick and we'll be good. No, not so much. Okay, I think let's bring this over. Actually lined up right around here. Yeah, oh man, I was lucky as all heck. Right up until I placed the wither in the wrong spot in the end, and 4974. Okay, that's going to be right here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 72. Hike! All right. Actually, that's probably too far. I need it to be 11 blocks square, so that's actually way too far. But anyway, so I got that, so it's okay. I had free time, and yeah, it was in fact hilarious watching the wither chase Enderman all over the End Island. If I didn't need that wither to be dead, it would have been great. But it ended up dead, and that's what I needed. So, all right. So the plan here is I'm going to have each module is going to be a 3x3 for the villagers. You could have got on and helped. Yeah, that's all right. I got it sorted out. It was fine. But yeah, I do not like that. Do not like the wither. All right. And that's all I had to say. Yeah. All right. So 3x3 for the villagers. I'm going to have a 7 block wide, I think, spawning platform. So it's going to come out. Yeah, 3 blocks on either side for the spawning platform. 1, 2. Of course, didn't you also say that you had complete? Oh, I didn't get a shulker box. Oh well. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 2, 3. There. Let's just also say you managed to lose all of your gear, so that was fun too. All right. Yes. Okay, that's fair. That is fair. Okay. Now I am going to be digging up through this too, but we're going to start here. So this is going to be the spawning area, and then I need 2 more blocks coming out this way for the drop chute. 2? Ooh, actually, yeah, no, 2's fine. Twitch commands in Twitch do not equal commands in Minecraft. Okay, yep, that's fair. All right, so we need to come out this way. All right, so we're going to come out to here. Okay. Oh, do not type clear. Oh. Yeah. See, that's one of the things I need to figure out how to do it. I know it's possible. Because I think it was set up that way on the create mod server. A way of... So I know you can de-op, but then that permanently like strips you of op. I just want to like turn it off when I'm not using it. Okay. Oh, we need to come out a couple of blocks this way. All right, so that goes that way, and then this goes this way. Doesn't do it permanently. See, I ran the de-op command, and it did in fact de-op me. But then I couldn't run op again and get it back. So it's like, well, that was... Yeah, you have to go back into the console, and I didn't want to do that. So... yeah. All right. So coming up right through here. All right. So this... right up through here. Yeah, see, that's not too bad. So basically, I'm going to come up this way. We're going to have some fun with this. But, yeah, it's going to be an interesting thing. But, let's head out. I want to dig that all the way down from the top so it's easier to figure out where this is. Okay, I may end up covering it over again here too, but... So this is 4974 and 7450. So 4974, that's here. And it's 50, right? Yeah, 50. So I'm just going to dig, first off. Let's just mark that with torches. And dig straight down, because at least this time I know it's safe. All right. So I'll probably end up digging out some more of this hill up above me, but... what time do we think we have? Yeah. You know, I was just shocked. I was surprised as all heck that I got that quickly. All right. All right. If the quotes from the movies is the same in the books, that is a good question. All right, so we are going to be digging for a while. We are going to be digging down for a couple of, well, say about 159. I want to get down, so let's see. We're at 159 here. We're going to come up to at least, oh, probably here. So call it 175. Call it 170 because I think I need some headroom. So we'll call it 170. And if I'm going to do 6 layers, well, 5 layers would be at 20 blocks a layer is going to be 100 blocks. So we need to go down at least 120. So that's going to put us down to 30. But if I take this down to maybe Y0, that would be both crazy and silly, but would, in fact, give me all of the room I need. And I could potentially put in a 7th layer of villagers, which would be kind of nice. Yeah, hearing a lot of numbers. Yeah, we are definitely going to be dealing with numbers. It's going to be great. At least that's the plan. So, all right. Fortunately, with the beacon, we're all on Instamine. This should go relatively quickly, but the other thing I'm going to have to do as we get through this is I'm also going to have to be blocking off areas so that the golems, when they do spawn, only spawn where I want them to and not where I don't want them to. Which seems reasonable. Because I need golems to drop to their death, not wander around aimlessly in random caves. Okay? That's not why I'm hiring them. I'm hiring them to die a horrible, agonizing death by fire. And I'm sure they're perfectly fine with it. You know, because that's just the way iron golems are. And, you know, they're totally okay with their imminent destruction by flame. It's just, I think it's just born into their little irony hearts. Or either that or they like irony, one of the two. I actually maybe think this is probably the latter. Alright. Oh, speaking of irony hearts, the latest snapshot dropped today for Java. Java Minecraft. And apparently there's an interaction between the iron golem and the copper golem. Where the iron golem, you know how it like will give poppies to villagers? Right? Well, apparently it will give not just give a poppy to a copper golem, but it will plant a poppy on the copper golem. So the poppy will just sort of float on top of, or sit on top of the antenna for the copper golem. It looks really cute. I saw one of the other Discords I was in, I can't remember which one, posted some pictures. And so it just sticks up, you know, because it's got like that lightning rod antenna on the top. Yeah, it just sticks out of the top of that. So it is silly. It's apparently fairly rare. Exuma, in his snapshot video today, was trying to get it to happen. And it just was taking forever. But, so yeah, it's kind of cute. And if the copper golem dies or turns into a block, which they'll do, right? Oh, I forgot to go get shulkers. Yeah, let's go do that. Anyway, so if the golem... Okay, cool. Anyway, if the golem dies or otherwise ceases to move, it will drop the flower. So if you want an extraordinarily slow poppy farm, you know, that would do it. All right, so let's go ahead and offload all of our happy little stuff here. I've got a bunch of empty shulker boxes, so hopefully this will work. Otherwise, we'll end up crafting more, which, you know, definitely doable, but. Okay. Is that? Yeah, no, this will be fine. If it's a little bit too far forward, I think, where I have it, but I'll make it work. Oh, all about extraordinarily slow and inefficient farms. That's great. I'm not, but that's what I end up building. So, you know, well, hey, at least my squid farm works now. After all of that disaster of whatever that mess was that I had going before, which was an extremely old school squid farm design, I've come to have determined. Yeah. Now it works. I have plenty of squid droppings so that I can make... Oh, that's too far. So I can make all of the black terracotta that I need, which I'm going to need a bunch. So, you know, got that going for me. Also, we're going to have so much terracotta after this, which is good. I need it. So, you know. Ella, I have no idea what you're talking about. I think we have ourselves a bot over on the kick side of things. All right. So much digging. Do I have a comfort build? No. Partly because I can never remember what I've built in the first place. All right. Oh, this is going to be great. Because what I want to do for the base here, my flying city, is that I'm going to be using lots of different terracotta for the different floors. So coming in with all of this terracotta is going to be nice. Yeah, no worries, snoopers. Okay, and we have ourselves a fan. Okay. Ta-da! All right. Yeah, no worries. I have a very convenient button here. Actually, I need to find out how to make it more convenient in StreamerBot, but that's a problem for future me. Current me is digging a big hole. Okay, I also should probably keep an eye on my pickaxe durability. You know, one of those things that I would like to not have happen is my pickaxe break. That would be really awkward. Okay. Looks like we've got some gold happening out here. That's wonderful. Okay. Not that I especially need the raw gold. On the other hand, I suppose I might end up doing something with the raw gold, so we'll fill that in. Might as well. And one of these shulkers is just like the other. All right, and are we locked and loaded? We are just about, yeah. Cool. All right, well, this is fine. I have another shulker box. Because, yeah. Oh, that is something I'm going to have to build one of these not soon, but relatively soon, I think, is a shulker farm. I've never designed one. I've built a couple of other people's designs, but I've not built one myself. And I think things changed a little bit with one of the more recent updates because they changed the aggro rules and things like that. And I don't know exactly how they work now. So it's something I'm going to have to play with a little bit, see. But also it's dark. But yes, I'm sure there are lots of people on the server who would be thrilled to have a shulker farm. Heck, I would be thrilled to have a shulker farm. I'm watching my shulkers rapidly decrease as I've been using them, and yeah. The good news is, if you want to, is I do have the data pack on so that the shulkers will always drop 2 shells. So at least farming them by hand, you know, with your good old-fashioned organic shulker shells, those happen fairly quick, so. But yep, I'm just gonna have to figure that out, aren't I? Okay. Again, I don't need the gold, but a little bit of raw gold, potentially as a decorative block, could be useful. Yeah. Well, what I could do, I could move the dragon egg. I left it there because, hey, it was my world and I wasn't, no one else was on it. But since that has changed, I should probably move the dragon egg. So I might do that. It's not like it's hard. Just pick it up, move it someplace fun and exciting. Yeah, make a shrine for it. Yeah. The dragon egg is one of those things I kind of wonder if it would make sense to give it a purpose. The only catch is there's only ever one of them on a server, right? Unless you get into duping, which is just wrong. Okay. You have this going, right? I don't know what you would use it for. But it would be kind of cool if there was something you could use it for. I'll have to think. Now, and again, thinking is hard. Now, I'm looking at building up this storage system, right? Well, like any good storage system, I was going to go with these stacks of double chests. If I were to build a shulker farm, I could build the sucker. Oops, not that one. I could build the thing so that it has I don't know, multiple so it uses shulkers instead of chests, you know, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Oh, of course, I just put all the stone away. If only there was a place to get stone here. I don't know. It is an unfertilized egg. Yeah. Yeah, so using it to respawn the dragon doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, she's a strong, independent dragon who doesn't need another dragon around, right? But yeah, just, of course, if you give it the egg a purpose, now that it becomes compelling to want to dupe it, and I don't think, again, anybody really wants that, right? It was like in the last season of Hermitcraft, Doc M77 decided to dupe the dragon egg because, of course, he did, and I think Pearlescent Moon ended up getting her hands, because I think she had the original dragon egg, but she ended up getting her hands on a bunch of the duped eggs and built a dragon out of duped eggs, which was silly to see. But yeah, just, I'm not a particular fan of item duping, so. Yeah, some of it wasn't too bad because you had to put the, as long as you didn't accidentally touch one of the eggs, yeah. Because it's pretty much just string, right? You put your string down, then you can put your eggs on it and go to town, but we are all right. Right, okay. I think we're good. So, all right, this is going to be it. This is the stream tonight. It's just, we're at Y131. We need to get down to Y0. This is going to be a time. All right. Again, this is why I decided to go ahead and get the beacon, because I knew this was going to take forever, and honestly, there are some things I want to last forever. Digging out this mountain is not one of them. I do have unbreaking on this axe, right? Yeah. Just getting out of this place is going to be its own special breed of fun, but, you know. Okay, yeah, get a bunch of this raw gold. Not that I said plan on smelting it down, but raw gold blocks can be an interesting decorative touch, so we'll look at that. But okay. So we'll see how far we get. And I said if I need to, actually I did not look after the Wither disaster. I didn't jump back in to see if the Enderman farm was damaged, because it very well could have been. Okay. So I don't think it was. It was far enough away from where all the action was happening. But it's also possible, and I just haven't gone to look. Okay. All right. All right, only 120 blocks to go. Yeah, I remember people talking to Pearl about that on her stream after that. She says, yeah, it wasn't too bad. There were a couple of times she'd hit the wrong thing and a stack of eggs would fall or something like that, but so we are going down. I'm going down to Y0, basically. So we're going to go down to, probably don't even need to go that deep, but we're going to go down to Y0, which means I am 120 Y levels down. So I'm at Y125 right now. So, yeah, we got a ways to go. Okay. But yeah, as I got thinking about it, obviously double chests store a lot more than a shulker box does. But we have a couple of cool things on the server, aside from, you know, shulker boxes. We've got the shulker box tooltips, which allows you to stick an icon, excuse me, on your shulker box. So when you place it, it gives you a nice picture of whatever you've stuck on the box, which could be really handy for labeling rather than using signs or anything like that, right? Signs or item frames or whatever. So that wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. All right. Well, I have a second unbreaking pickaxe, so we can pull that out if I need to. And I'm almost certainly going to need to. So, you know, it's a thing. But yeah, I'm looking at probably 6 levels of villagers. At 20 blocks per level. Okay. So there's going to be the level the villagers are on, and then it's basically 16 blocks Um, well, you need to have 16 blocks between each set of villagers, so that when the iron golems spawn, they don't trigger each other quite as much. Okay. Well, I'm going to do basically 20 blocks between. Okay, which is going to be fine. But it's going to be a little crazy. I mean, instead, I suppose if I were careful and did it not at, let's see, 16, but at, say, or not at 20, maybe did 18 blocks between, because I do want to have a little bit of room just in case I'm miscalculating or something. That after 6 or 8 levels, that still wouldn't give me... Well, after 8 levels, if it's an extra 2 blocks, that would give me a little bit, like one more layer? One more set of villagers, I guess? Which could be okay. Which then means the farm might be, again, just a little bit faster. Which is not a bad thing. And that's the whole point of this farm, so, you know. Alright. But there is something to be said for perhaps, if I'm going to be setting it up that way, maybe putting a shulker loader in, right? So I could... oops, one of these boxes. This one had the iron in it. Iron. Andesite. Andesite. La-di-da-di-da. Andesite. Butter. Burp, burp. Oh, yeah. Definitely going to need more shulker boxes. Okay. Yeah. No. I mean, I've got the stuff I need to craft more. But I've got just one more empty. All right. No, we're fine. Everything's fine. We're just fine. Okay. The good news is I don't think there's a lot of space here that I need to worry about, you know, stuff dropping out on me or anything like that, so. Okay, did leave a little bit of coal there, but it's all right. Oh, we had to go find the picture? Yeah. Or find a picture. Yeah. Believe me, there is a part of me that is intrigued by item duping. Okay? You know, dropping gravity blocks through the end portal and stuff like that. Okay? That's... But... I really... It just feels... That feels a little cheaty. Okay? I mean, there are other things I'll do that are totally cheaty and I'm okay with it, right? I'll use free cam, for example, and I'll... but... I play in survival because I don't want to play in creative. And that just feels too much like you're just going to be in creative. You know, I don't find creative to be particularly fun. Oh, sure, I'll go into creative if I'm designing a new thing or something like that, but it's not... I don't want to build a world in creative. Right? It's just... That's not fun for me. So... I'm not, again, no shade, you know, if anybody likes playing in creative, right? Play the way you want to, man. Minecraft is a sandbox game. It's your sandbox. Play in it. But it just feels... It's cheaty enough for me that it's like, yeah. No, if I want to get into duping, I might as well be playing in creative. And since I don't want to play in creative, you know, I don't. Yeah. You know, farms that generate items, like iron farms and stuff, that is normal game design. Okay? That's right, stuff like that I'm all about, but yeah. One person sandbox is another's cat litter box. It also works the other direction. I was watching, or somebody posted a picture, I think it was Mandolin in our Discord the other day. She was fostering some cats. She had adopted some feral cats. And of course, she has a litter box, of course, set up for the cats. And one of these cats decided, you know what? This litter box seems like a perfect place to just sleep and hang out. She's like, no, kitty, that's not what that's for. It was silly. What are we doing on... Okay, we got plenty, but I think what's going to end up happening is we'll clean out... We'll basically go... I'll fill up the second shulker box, and then we'll head back up, assuming I can manage to fly out of here. We'll head back up. I'll get some more shulkers. We'll switch pickaxes. And yeah, if I need to, then, or we'll dig out some more, and then we may have to make a trip out to the Enderman farm for some XP to mend up my tools. Fortunately, there's a lot of coal right here. Not that I need it right now, but it's going to be handy to have. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how this farm is going to work, because it's actually going to be kind of cool. So what I'm going to do is we'll have the villagers standing in the middle, okay? And I'm going to use basically, like, if you've seen some of those old school villager breeders where you get the villagers standing in the center with beds around them, that's basically what the villagers are going to be standing on. I'm going to have a platform above their heads for the iron golems to stand on that will flush them one way or another, right? So that they'll fall down to well, I think they're going to end up dropping into water. I'd like to have them splat and just die, but the lower levels aren't going to be that deep, so I will have to set up a water stream for them to flow over into a lava blade. Okay? No big deal. But, let's see. Yep, boy. Oh, hang on. One of these boxes had iron in it. That one. Okay. The fun is going to come in with the zombie, okay? Because for all of these iron farms, you need a zombie or a pillager or a oh, I don't know, drowned or something. There are a handful of hostile mobs that send villagers into a panic, which then triggers the spawning of an iron golem. Okay, awesome. Well, I think what I want to do is use a single zombie. Sorry, it's a little dark here. Sorry about that. But I think I'm going to use a single zombie and use a minecart and a water stream to bring the zombie up and down and around to scare my villagers. It's going to be a little bit of a interesting thing. I don't know if it's going to work, but oh yeah. It's getting there. I'm going to finish off this level. It's got unbreaking. It'll finish this level off without too much of a hassle. But yeah, it is definitely time to change tools. I don't have the durability ping on, so we'll just suffer. All right. Okay. So anyway, it's going to be an interesting farm to set up. All right, let's grab an ender chest. Grab my tools. That's like the guy says, you can go a few more miles on this tank. Yeah, well, you know. I'm keeping an eye on it. I don't like mining for netherrack any more than anybody else does, so don't really need that sword. We'll keep the axe handy. Hang on. Hang on. That was about to become really stupid. All right. I guess what I'm going to do is... because I need the Silk Touch pickaxe to pick up the ender chest, so... we'll do it that way. It'll be fine. All right. That goes in there. Switch tools. All right. All right, we're good. We're fine. Everything's great here. Yeah. And now we got cobblestone. Which is fine. I could definitely use some cobblestone. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting setup to do. I don't think it's going to be that difficult. It's just going to be big. And the hard part's going to be getting the villagers in place. Yes, if it broke while I was getting the ender chest, that would have been hilarious. It still had 50 uses on it. And that didn't account for unbreaking. So I was fine, you know. Totally fine. All right. However, I think... all right, I think I do need to get some more shulker boxes. We're up... jeez, I'm at Y100. We may be doing this on Thursday, too, y'all. I also forgot to put my toolbox back in the ender chest, so, you know, got that going for me. All right. Well, might as well use it while I've got it. Hang on. Let's crafting table. All right. Let's see. 3, 4. Let's 2, 3, 4. I think that'll be enough. Will that be enough? Probably. Okay. Couple chests. And a couple of extra shulkers. Wonderful. Alright. That goes in there. Let's... yeah, let's go ahead and just... we'll take a couple of these shulkers that are full. I actually brought some shulkers back from my... from the city. I just completely forgot to unload them, so... that was fun. Okay. Yeah, see, it's got 40 uses, so should be fine. If things get bad, I can swap, but we'll let it go for now. All right. Oh, one of these is not full. Let's maybe load this one up first. I'm gonna keep a pile of stone on me here too, so I can fill in the gaps. At least I'm not digging out something like the size of Decked Out or something like that. That was... I swear, that was like the first half of Tango's season. It's like, oh yeah, we're just gonna dig out this huge area, you know. know, someone who doesn't mind a little diggy himself, I get that, but... Alright, but this is where we're at now. Alright. Honestly, part of me has that's not what goes there. Part of me has wondered if it wouldn't have just been faster to dig down, just to dig down a couple of blocks. I know it's safe, right? But, cause you know, the only thing beneath me is deep dark. So would it be faster to dig down and then fly up and dig a couple of blocks down again? I don't know. Honestly, not a clue. All right. Oh, and down we go. Sweet, level 98. Only 98 more levels to go. Yeah, there might be a little bit of digging after that. Actually, there is going to be some, because I need to... there are going to be a couple of channels on the side that I need to dig out for the zombie here, for these, to scare the villagers. But those are going to be basically figure out where they need to go, dig them straight down, and just a couple of block wide channels. So that won't be too bad. And there's going to be a little bit of digging underneath. Again, nothing overly crazy, just something that's going to have to happen. Alright. This patch of dirt's not a bad thing. Also, I do want to get this copper here, too. It's the joy of planning to use copper in the build. It's like, yeah, I should probably get copper while I'm here. Alright, hang on. I know it's dark. Okay. I suppose I can get out my crafting table and turn that all into raw copper, but you know what? Just use the cobble. That's fine. Nobody's going to see this. All right. Where am I? Out to here. Okay. Yeah, there comes a point, it's like, you know what? It's just not that important. Unlike my voice, which is also apparently not that important. It's not like I need it or anything to, you know, talk and stuff. All right. Yeah, where things are going to get a little hairy would be if I were going to be digging like all the way to bedrock, which I thought about, to be perfectly honest. I thought about digging the thing down to bedrock, but decided that that was probably too much. Almost certainly not what needed to happen. So, okay, hang on, grab a crafting table, turn all of that into blocks of copper. Wonderful. Okay. I'll tell you, I say it a lot because I'm actually honestly surprised, but I really love the bundles. I didn't think I was going to, but dang, they've gotten useful. All right. Oh yeah, we're gonna have so much stone. After spending all that time in the deep dark where stone was actually kind of hard to come by, we were drowning in this stuff. Of course, I also didn't do any sort of building project like this down in the deep dark. So, you know, I guess that's kind of not surprising. Not a lot of places to dig when you're already at the bottom of the world, you know? Oh, hang on. There was some more copper there. Okay. All right. That goes in there. All right. Moving on. Hey, Carp. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. Jumping in on the Twitch side of things, I see. You're having a fabulous day. So much digging. Yep. Working on your video game all day. Nice. Oh, yeah. That's... All right. Oh, so much digging. Two-week window between your full-time job that just ended and your next year of school. Oh, nice. Definitely a good time to fill stuff in. Yeah, that's what my son was doing for a while when he got home from college. Was working on the game he and his team had developed the previous school year, and we're trying to get it Steam ready. I don't know if they ever got that finished. My son then got a job, and so had to put that on hold a little bit. Hey, Eddie. Welcome, welcome. I hope you're having a fabulous day over there on the YouTubes. Yeah. Get to see where I... Makes it really obvious where I've screwed up, doesn't it? Ah, so much digging. But nope, I want iron. I want lots of iron, and darn it, we're going to have lots of iron. Actually, I had a crazy idea, okay? I don't know if it's a good idea, but it was a crazy idea. Okay, we'll start with that one. Of also making this a creeper farm. So it turns out iron golems and creepers pretty much ignore each other, okay? Which is fine. But I got thinking that it might be interesting to somehow combine the two farms. I don't think I'm going to do that, but it would be an interesting... It would be an interesting thing to do. And I know how I would do it, but again, I don't know if I actually want to take that approach. And so for the moment, I'm not going to. I did have an idea for a creeper farm that was also in part sugarcane powered. Basically combine the creeper farm with a sugarcane farm, so that I could take the two of them, have them together just to make an easy rocket factory. Which would be handy. Okay. So I think that's the approach I'm going to take rather than combine the creepers over here. But it was a possibility. It definitely crossed my wee little mind as I was looking at things. But now, I think the rocket factory is going to go It's going to go in a separate hill. I think I know where I want it to be. The one problem I'm going to have is, you know, one amongst many, is that I haven't spawn-proofed this area, like, at all. So lighting up all of the badlands around the area, plus all of the caves and all of that stuff, that's just going to be a task I'm not sure I'm ready to dive into, you know? All right. Well, let's see. We started at what, 160? 150 maybe? So we're definitely making progress. It's slow, laborious progress, but we're definitely making it. Okay. Yep. So I double checked my new spam filter over on Kick. It's working. So that's wonderful. Yes. Are you missing spam bots in your life? Kick is the place for you. All right. Honestly, I kind of got spoiled by having SiriBot over on Twitch. Okay. It does a pretty good job of stopping the spammers when they show up. Okay. Anyway, let's see what else is going on. I'm sure something. Don't know what, but, you know, something. Let's see now. Still need to come up, I mean, it's only Tuesday, but I need to start thinking about what I'm going to talk about on the podcast on Friday, or on Saturday. I already have the podcast recorded for the next couple of weeks. So, you know, because I'm ahead a little bit, which is nice. Don't need that. Wow. You know, when you dig out a mountainside, you end up with a lot of material. It's, I know, this is shocking to everybody, but it's 100% true. Heck, the whole inside of this mountain is about to be a thing. Okay, yeah, so much mountain. All right. Okay, we're gonna have some copper after this though too. I'm totally digging the new copper blocks that are coming in the next drop. So obviously we've got a bunch of copper stuff already, right? Copper blocks and trapdoors and all that good stuff. Well, they're adding copper chains and copper lanterns, and the copper lanterns burn green, which is awesome. That's really cool. I'm excited for that. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Plus, they've added green torches, like the copper torches that have a green flame instead of the yellow flame of the regular torch, or the redstone torch, obviously being red, or even the soul torch, which is blue, right? We're gonna have these blue torches, and they are just awesome and stuff. I'm excited for that. But I was looking at the copper fences that they've got. They've got like copper bars they look just like the iron bars, but are obviously copper in all of their different variations, right? Weathered and right and not, right? So they age. So you've got all of the range from the orange to the green, right? All of that stuff, which is looking really cool. And I've got a couple of places just in the build up top, like my door right now, where I've got the creaking, right, that run my door. I've got some iron bars around the sides of it because it looks cool. But that would be a place that would actually look really awesome with copper bars instead of iron ones. Right? So there are a few places where I think, yes, this extra splash of color, where it's the orange instead of the white and gray, would be really cool. But yeah, let's see, what else? I actually can't remember what's on the... So, obviously the podcast that comes out Wednesday, for those of you who are supporters over at musicfreegaming.com, you can watch it now. Just log into your account at musicfreegaming.com and watch it early. It's one of the perks of being a Music Free Gaming supporter. And support plans start at $5 a month, which is cheaper than a Twitch sub, which is awesome. And I get more of it. Twitch takes like half of the amount. Kick is better, obviously, but it's better than Twitch anyway. But I don't think either of them are better than just signing up at musicfreegaming.com. So yeah. Oh, that one's full. Let's try the empty one here, shall we? There we go. Oh, this is going to be crazy. You know, I need a fast way of dumping all this. Alright, this is why I need a shulker farm, is for handling all of the drops from this, all of the digginess. But, yeah, so it's, anyway. Yeah, I do spend the week trying to think about, hey, is there anything cool that I want to talk about? There's something I've been wanting to talk about, but I need to wait, because there's some information I'm waiting for it to become public before I talk about it. And so I gotta, because I don't want to be telling tales out of school, if you know what I mean. But that'll be an interesting thing once all of that information is out that I can talk about. It's yeah. So anyway, sorry I tease you with random. Oh, I know secrets. Yeah. But it's part of the reason I'm using StreamerBot right now is all that fun stuff. So, all right. But that's a topic for future me. The good news is I actually can condense all of this coal too. I wish you could turn charcoal blocks or charcoal into charcoal blocks, but that's not a thing. You can compress coal into blocks, but not charcoal, and that's annoying. My pickaxe has definitely seen better days. definitely gonna have to take a trip out to the Enderman farm and get that sorted out. Okay, let's go ahead and fill this up. All right, grab my crafting table. All right, which one of these had my... that one. Said one of these had blocks of copper in it. All right, that's a crafting table. Crafting tables are awesome, but they're not great at storing things, okay? I know, weird, right? But it's true. They're really bad at it. All right, that one's full. That one's just about full. All right. Okay, we are just about at the end of our storage capacity here, y'all. All right. Jeez. All right, well, we're at 67. So definitely not finishing this tonight, but maybe Thursday. Thursday's a definite maybe, which would be great if I can get this finished Thursday. And unfortunately, I'm not going to have a lot of time to do it off camera. I've got some stuff going on tomorrow and Fridays when I write up my outline and stuff for the podcast. So, and obviously I've got a job, so you know, that's a thing that I have to deal with. I'll tell you, there are days where I've wondered, you know, could I be a full-time content creator? I mean, financially, no. I absolutely could not. The 10 or 12 bucks a month I get from streaming is not nearly enough to cover my expenses. But you know, could I actually do it as a job? Maybe. There's some definite aspects of it that I wouldn't mind, but I'd probably have to lean more into the video stuff than I am now, which is fine. I definitely don't make enough videos. But would be cool though. One of these days, next 10, 15 years, something like that, I can maybe if I retire from my job and have a steady income from that, for my retirement, for my pension, you know. That's all right. That'll be good. 10, 15, 20 years, something like that. It's a little ways off. You know, I wanted to replace this block under there. It's really bad about that. Okay. All right, well. Yep, pickaxe is definitely getting low, so we'll... I don't think I'm going to take this one quite to the level I took my other pickaxe. That one I get down probably lower than I should have. It didn't break, so, you know, there's that. I think, what is this one? Actually, this episode might be the Man of La Mancha. Really light movie review of Man of La Mancha, which was... I ended up crying during that podcast, so, you know, got that going for it. Right, I don't need the gravel. Actually, I do need the gravel. Take that back. All right, well, Alright, we're basically out of space here, so that's cool. Gravel. Alright. Alright, let's go ahead and pack up here. Okay, we're good. I'm not leaving a shulker box. Great. Let's see if I can fly out of here. Aha! Made it. All right. Sweet. Okay, hang on. See, wouldn't these look cool in, like, orange? I think they would look cool. All right. Let's take a quick... Hi, dude. All right. We're going to have to unload these. All right. I think... Well, I do want to smelt all of this copper that I've got. I might head back to the city and do that. So that's something I may do later. All right, stone, gravel away, diorite, and dirt. All right, cool. All right, and put the coal away too. All right, now let's head to the ends. I'm gonna need my sword, which, to be fair, I think there's a shulker box over, or an ender chest over there. All right, let's head out, and all right, we'll it's over that way. I think I did this off camera. There's an end portal not too far from this base. So I dug down and gave myself a nice little way down here. All right. I also have an end portal or another portal to get to it too, but okay, I think. All right, I want to see it from up top, but I think where is it? Oh, it's over there. Right. Okay. I missed, but that's okay. Yeah, it looks like the farm is intact. All right. All right. Then we'll just stop those guys there. All right. Pickaxes. All right. Well, and here we go. Yeah, it takes a moment to warm up because it doesn't. The Endermen don't drop, right? So they're not like a one-hit kill. But they definitely do their thing. Now, once you're going, I mean, you're dropping Enderman with every swing, and this farm generates a lot of Enderman, so I think you end up having a farm that's actually comparable to some of those drop farms. All right. Progress is being made. Pickaxe is being healed. All right. And next. Okay. We're good. Right. Everything's wonderful. Are we wonderful? Are we wonderful and awesome? Are we slicing and dicing Endermen till they fall down and drop their jewelry in a giant heap? Yes. Yep, that's exactly what's going on. Okay. There's an Enderman head. Alright, I suppose I can pick up the Enderman head. Do I need Enderman heads? No. But it's okay. Okay. Also, I have 18 trillion ender pearls. Let's be careful to throw away the ender pearls and not something valuable. Okay. Okay. Very careful. All right. So we're good. I think we're good. Let's go and let those guys drop. All right. And yeah, we're fine. I suppose I could have healed up my axe. Since I'm here, we'll do it. All right. I said it's not like the axe was really that badly damaged, but since we're here, okay, we'll just go ahead and heal up the rest of the tools. Okay. I don't need to use the hoe as much since I'm not over in the city where I'm needing to deal with Skulk on a regular basis, but all right, good enough. All right, cool. All right, I'm going to chuck those ender pearls away. I certainly have more than my share. And I think... Okay. And there are a couple of books and a couple of other things. Pearls and other things here. So we're fine. It's fine. All right. All right. Obviously, there's a water column if you need to get up that way. And I've marked it now. I've marked it so that if I have to... Hack! Well, I thought I'd... Oh. No. All right. Fine. All right. We'll head back to the city. Because I've got a portal up to the roof over there, and that'll get me where I need to go. Guess I should have... Yeah, obviously my little tree farm here too, you know. All right. All righty then. Oh, get some... All right, a little go, little. It's a little. All the little. Okay. Here we go. All right. It's a thing. We're gonna get there. Oh man, this is... I'll tell you, this is tedious as all get out, and I admit that. And I fully accept that, but it's gonna be great when it's done. Yeah, so we'll probably end up having to finish digging Thursday, and then Saturday, this way, and then Saturday we can fix things. We can maybe get started on the farm. Which, I hope so. Alright. Let's get the tools. First, I can put my sword away. Next, let's, oh, also, I think I can turn that off. Yeah. I have a heads bag now. And there's nothing at all creepy about keeping a bag full of heads in a chest somewhere, okay? It's perfectly fine. It's not at all creepy. There's nothing creepy about it. No. It's perfectly normal. Everybody has a bag full of heads in a junk drawer somewhere, right? Right? I'm not insane. I'm not at all. No, we're fine. Fine. Okay. Anyway, I need chests. So let's go and grab some spruce here. All right. Let's craft up a bunch of chests. And we're going to craft up a bunch of shulker boxes. Okay. Yeah, I'm down to 14 shulker shells, so... Yeah, this is going to be a thing. It's going to... Definitely going to need to figure out some storage. Alright. Back to the hole. Alright. Oh. Okay, I think we're okay. It's the other thing I'm just making sure, too, is that I've got the... that I'm digging things in the right place. Alright. Don't need those. Do need this. Alright. Those of you getting an ad on Twitch, you're not hearing this, but that's probably more interesting than watching me dig out this stone. Yep. All the digging. But it's okay, right? Totally fine. Okay. So we'll just continue with the fortune pickaxe for now. Missed one. That's okay. Oh, just imagine if I didn't get the haste beacon. I was tempted not to. I was tempted just like, you know what? We'll be fine. It'll be a little slower, but it's no big deal. No. Fortunately, I got lucky with that Enderman head. Unfortunately, I got unlucky because I was just careless with my wither spawning. But it's okay. We're getting there. Only 50 more levels to go. So, we'll see how far I can get tonight. Oh, man. You know, I have to admit, I rarely build projects this big, okay? But I just had an idea, and I wanted to do it, so that's what we're doing. And honestly, that's okay, right? It's okay to like what you like. And it's okay to want to do what you want to do. As long as you're not interfering with the rights of others. You know? It's like, that's why, you know, I'm never going to blame someone. Like we were talking about item duping earlier. If you want to item dupe in your own world, go for it, man. Just because I think it's cheaty for me and I don't do it, there's absolutely no reason why it should stop you from doing it in your own world. You know, it's one of those things. Heck, that's half the reason I ended up growing out my beard. Because it's not so much that I like the beard as much as I got tired of... I've got sensitive skin, and shaving hurts. It is a literal pain, and I got tired of dealing with the pain. And so if I ended up making the decision that, you know what? I know, it's like, my wife doesn't like the beard, and that's fine. She doesn't have to. But I stopped letting that become a concern for me. It's like, okay, she doesn't like the beard. That's fine. But I don't want to shave anymore, so I'm just gonna, since it doesn't, it's not something that's gonna stop my anything, you know. Hey, Sprite, it's part of why you don't shave legs and arms. Okay. Yeah, nope, that's fair. That is totally fair. Okay. Since we are apparently yeah, it's just like, you know what? I don't need to. I'm not required to. It's like I don't have any, there are no regulations that say, you know, I must be clean shaven, so I'm not. But how you doing, Sprite? Hope your day is going well. Yeah, it's just... But yeah, it's one of those things that I actually learned as I was going through therapy a while back, right? So I was going through all of that to help deal with the grief and depression after my oh. Okay, that's going to be an issue. After, you know, dealing with my dad's death and stuff. Part of what we dealt with is not just the grief, but some of the other issues I had going on, because I had issues. And that was one of the lessons I took out of it, was, you know, and it's okay to like what you like. Half childless. Oh, your youngest is having a sleepover. Nice. Hope that goes well. We're actually looking at being empty nesters here in the not too distant future. For at least a couple of months. As all three of the kids that I have at home right now will be heading back to school. And, yeah. Alright, I need to give myself a way up here. Alright. So, this is what I was talking about. This is... Oh, hi. Go away. I'm going to go ahead and scrounge this gold. Again, I'm not overly needy for gold, but... Ooh, yep, that's definitely a cave. Alright, and we got spiders. Awesome. Oh, right. There's my nether portal. Hi. Could you, like, not... Got other things going on, and you're not part of it. Okay, so I'm going to have to... This is one of the things I'm going to have to deal with. So I think I'm going to leave the gap open. I'll block it off in a little bit, but... I need to be sure that... Yeah, that's obviously well and away far enough. Oh, hi! You're surprising and stuff. Could you not be surprising? I just need to... I'm just going to have to be sure that I don't have... Oh, don't need... I mean, I kind of want to hang on to the spider eye, but... Okay, where's my giant hole? Hi! I have a giant hole. Could we find it, please? Again... I don't need the gold. I'm going to get the gold, but I need to be sure that my golems don't spawn back here as the farm happens. Okay, so we're gonna be doing a lot of blocking off and stuff down here too. Okay. All right, well that's gonna be a whole special breed of crazy, but I forgot how much gold there is here in these Badlands. All right, nice. So we are coming up this way. All right, now as I said, I'm going to keep some of this open. Looks like I can get to it from my nether portal area. Hi. Okay, just block that off. He's all fancy in his chainmail, but all right. All right, yeah, I'll have to come back through here and just be sure all of that's blocked off. Because the area I'm setting up for the iron farm, I mean, golems will spawn like 8 blocks away from the villagers. The area I'm setting up for them to spawn in is not that big, so I need to be sure that the whole area around is blocked off and carpeted or whatever it is I need to do to basically spawn proof. Just to keep the golems in their place. I don't need wild golems running around doing weird things. Oh yeah, no, this is 100% a place for all the drills. I would 100% love my my big vertical drill from Create Mod. It's like, you know. But I have a beacon. That's not at all the same thing, right? So, yay, I guess. Create Mod makes so much of that so much easier. Of course, in Create Mod, I would not be building this farm. Because this is going to be an iron farm, and there are other ways of getting iron in Create Mod. Well, heck, I had a mod in that last season of Create Mod that I did just for iron farms. You just craft an iron farm and you go. But this is one of those things. I need the farm, so because yeah, the little iron farm I have back in the ancient city is not big enough for my needs here, so we're gonna deal with that. All right, so let's go ahead and block this off. I am gonna have to deal with this as well. Again, same type of thing. I need this to be spawn proof so that my golems go where I want them to go. But that's going to be a problem for future me. Let's just get all our diggy action happening here first. Okay. So much diggy. But I only have 40 more Y levels to go. Right, I'm taking this down to Y0, which is great, but that's a long way down. All right. Ooh, yeah, as I said, I'm going to leave some of that there so I know where those things are. All right. Moving on. Oh, yes. Yeah, the sounds you're talking about in the Discord. Yeah, sometimes it happens. Like, this sounds like something I should be familiar with. Because our brains are weird, right? Our brains will say, this sounds kind of like something I know. So I will totally reach into that. It's like, there's a thing I heard a while back. It's like, when you hear footprints, your first thought should be horse and not zebra, right? Because at least if you're in North America, you're less likely to see a zebra running down the street than you would be to see a horse, right? Especially in certain parts of the country. So okay. Look at that guy down there who wants to get smacked in the face with an axe. Alright, hang on. Let's deal with this. Alright, so all of that's going in there. Yeah, geez, so much. I'm about to lose so much of that too to just despawning, but that's fine. Okay. Next shulker box. Alright, let's get the crafting table out so I can compress my gold and my copper. What was it? Pixel Riffs, I think it was. I remember talking about he tried taking out a just using a bundle. It's like, okay, what we're gonna do is we're just going to anytime we get more than a stack of something that compresses, we'll compress it and then just keep the other stuff separate, you know? Where did that... Yeah, okay, where did that come from? I don't know. Then again, if it's something that happens often enough, who knows? Maybe it's time to see somebody's diet. I don't know. Alright, yeah, we're gonna have to deal with all the caves down here, too. Which is unfortunate. Oh, look at you over there being all silly. Alright. Okay, well that should hopefully, okay, that should keep me safe, and, let's go deal with this mess. That's not too bad. Alright. Okay, this is a crazy back here. But definitely gonna have to come back here and spawn-proof all of this. Okay. Because, yeah, it's 8 blocks around where the villages are that we need to worry about, so... So, yep. We're gonna have all the fun here. Alright, cobble. Great, thanks. So the problem with carrying this many shulker boxes on me is that, turns out it eats up a lot of inventory space. Okay. So this is going to come down here. Fortunately, I have shulkers full of cobblestone, so I can deal with some of this, but... Alright, I'll fill that in or carpet it or something. But that'll be again, a problem for future meat. Let's get back up there. I want to be sure I didn't leave this dark. Yeah, I did. Okay. I would really appreciate it if creepers didn't fall on my head. Okay. You know, it's just not... I'm wearing a helmet, but... That's just not what I'm looking forward to the most today. Okay. All right, so let's focus in. All right, and I need to bring this down just so that I can see where the corner is here. Okay. I said I'll get in and fill the rest of that in a bit, but... right, this is going to come down here. This will come this way. All right. Cool. Yeah, so said I'll fill those in as I build out the rest of the farm. That's something I'll have to deal with. But oh, I saw the blue there. I thought I was going to have to deal with water. That would suck. I don't have sponges in this world, so that would be less fun. Okay, it's not like I don't know where there's an ocean monument. I just haven't raided it yet. I just hijacked a number of the happy death fish. All right. Next shulker, this one. Okay, again, gotta love the happy death fish. All right, so that's gonna go in there. Oops, come on. No, do I have gravel in the other box? Sorry, my mouse seems to be sticking. So that may just be an issue with my mouse pad. All right, that gets all blocked up. This gets blocked up. That gets blocked up. Okay. All right, granite, gravel. Guess we can block up the lapis as well. All right. And that tucks back in. I really don't need the flints, but... All right, we have 30... She's 35 more levels to go. Turns out we've been digging for a long time. And that's fine. All right, we'll get there. We'll get there. It's not going to be overly crazy, I think. All right, so I know this has got to be the most stimulating action ever, but I'm not even shutting up so you get the cool ASMR effects, you know? It's just like, here, mining ASMR. Yeah, but you know, yeah, we're not sticky. Keys are good. Despite what Windows tells me sometimes when I hold down the shift key too long, I don't have sticky keys. And, yeah, I'm not overly concerned about some of this stuff, but and I don't know what I'm going to use the raw gold for that I've been collecting, but because I have a gold farm, so you know it's not, I don't need it for actual gold related reasons, but okay, well. Definitely got a lot of gold, though. Which one? This one. Cool. That's not the shulker box, turns out. I know. Weird, right? But Absolute. There, words. Okay. Ah. Yeah. Yeah. Dealing with a new PC. Yep. Dealing with sticky keys. It's like, yeah. All right. Okay. So we'll go ahead and stick. That goes in there. Oh, I should bulk up that coal. Great. All right. And the lapis. All right. I guess the lapis is going there. The coal goes there. Oh, I don't need those arrows either, but I'm going to end up picking them up about 8 times, but, you know, that is how it goes. All right. That goes in the tool bag, and we're off again. Okay. I'm actually not upset about getting all of that gravel. Since I need to make a lot of concrete as well, having the gravel is probably not a bad thing. I mean, I suppose if I shifted back to my Silk Touch pickaxe, I wouldn't have to worry about all of the ores and stuff, but... But that's okay. Yeah, just... my other hope is that wherever I come down, when I start hitting Y0, I don't hit too much of the scary side of the deep dark that's under me. We ran into when I was setting up the beacon. Okay. At least it's... I do have an ancient city nearby, but it's not... I don't have one directly under me, so, you know, that's a thing. Website 99. Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, some of those things are really helpful. It's like I just can we just reinstall all of my apps? You know, let's get Vivaldi and Discord and all that stuff, right? Okay. Again, I want the copper, so we're gonna go ahead and grab that. Okay. Yeah, I was playing around a little bit with the copper golem yesterday, and Sunday maybe, and I think what I have in mind is going to work out pretty well. Now, it also helped. I was talking about this in the supporter newsletter, which supporters at musicfreegaming.com get every week, where I talk about, what's coming up in the next week and all that fun stuff. But it helped that Mumbo Jumbo just put out a video about the copper golem. Actually put out like 3 videos about the copper golem. And, sorry, my ear is starting to hurt under my headphones. But anyway, so things are looking like they're going to be doing okay, I think. What I want to do is going to work, and that's awesome. Okay. Where's the one that had stuff in it? That one? That's not how I want that to go. Also, not how I want that to go. Okay. All right. No, we're fine. We're totally fine here. But anyway, I think it's gonna be good. It's not gonna be like hyper fast or anything, but I think it's gonna work out really well. Let's go. The best guy sales guy recommended. What's Night? Yeah. Nice. Yeah, it's handy. I did something similar in Linux. In fact, I need to update how I'm handling that, but Windows is a little bit different. Now, I don't tend to go hyper crazy with my apps, but it's definitely a number of them that I need. I actually need to change PCs here. I need, because my streaming PC isn't supported for Windows 11, so I'm gonna have to look at moving off of it here soon. And I run a dual PC setup because after my dad died, I just grabbed one of his PCs and set it up here, and that's what I'm playing on. So I think I'm going to end up moving over to that, and then we'll see what I can. Hopefully that machine will be beefy enough to play Minecraft and deal with the streaming and stuff. I think it will be, but we'll see. Yeah, no, absolutely, Sprite. Absolutely. It's like, you know what? Let me just run down the menu here and we'll get this going. On the other hand, it isn't a bad thing, necessarily, to be able to sit down and say, you know what? I'm going to take this as an opportunity to review the apps I had installed and just be sure I'm not going crazy here. Okay. It's going to have to be there. Let's go ahead and clean this up for a minute. Oh, jeez, man. Okay. All right, we'll get there eventually. All right, this is the drawback of using the fortune pickaxe, is that anytime you hit ores, it fills up your inventory in a hurry. Okay, I think we're getting there. All right, let's craft all this copper up into something a little more compact. Okay. Turns out that gold really wasn't that much more compact. But, you know, also I have zero need for that flint, but I'm going to end up picking it up about 18 different times here, but that's okay. All right. Crafting table goes back in there. All right. We're at level 22. So, going. Yeah, the things you know you like. Yeah, Discord. Yep. Yep, it's handy. I'm a big believer at work about using things like config management and programming your infrastructure, basically. It's like, oh, yes, I need this server or these servers to have these tools on them, and just be able to, yep, program that up in whatever tool I've got available. It's like, yeah, this is how we're going to do this. That fits right into that model. You know, the other thing I could have done here, which probably would have been more work than it's worth. I could have brought up a number of allays and just had them pick up stuff and take it places for me. But no, I ended up not doing that. Get all this dirt out of the way. a laser kind of handy for that, you know? It's like, I can, you know, I'll just have them pick up the stone and the ores and whatever else they got going on. And okay. Half tempted to dig up all of that gravel, but it's all right. Suppose if I AFK my gold farm overnight and then throw that gold at my bartering farm, I can end up with enough gravel for a while, at least theoretically. Okay, get this on place. So sysadmin, what do I use for security programs? I'm actually fairly content with Windows Defender. It's not the greatest tool in the world, but honestly, I was talking with a guy from the U.S. Air Force Academy, and he was like, "Yeah, we just use Windows Defender." It's like, okay, well, if it's good enough for the Air Force, and I can live with it. I've looked at other tools, you know, but they're just, so many of them are just a waste of cycles. They don't give you any added benefit, and they just slow your machine down. Okay. I think this box had the... No. This one. Alright. We're slowly filling that one up. Okay. Alright. Yep, this is what happens. You end up just eating it all. Okay. Do I use anything for periodic scans? Say I just Defender. I said it's gotten to be pretty good these days. It's not for just a personal machine. If you're not doing anything corporate, heck, even if you are doing anything corporate, but it does a good enough job. I also run ad block. Oh, let's not lose that now, shall we? Okay. Yeah, we'll just lose that. Obviously, you want to turn off ad block for those sites where you actually do want to support the creators. You know, YouTube, Twitch, maybe, right? But just in general, ads are one of the leading attack vectors for browser vulnerabilities. Heck, I watched, my wife was just on Facebook. She was doing nothing else. She was just had Facebook open. And I watched as she went to another Facebook page and some fake AV type virus popped up. And it's like, yeah, we need to stop this. And so I'm a big believer of ad block or no script or something like that for just traveling around the internet. And as much as I do want to support the sites I go to, my PC security is more important to me, so. But there are some sites, like YouTube, I pretty well trust, because YouTube doesn't just use random display ads, typically, right? They have their ads are part of the videos, right? Twitch is the same way. They do their own ad servings. You know, they're not worried about, oh, we're just gonna have random JavaScript run in your browser. And it's not that type of ad service. So, right. So those types of sites, you know, it's okay. I don't mind turning those on there. And Twitch has a reasonably affordable way of getting out of it, right? With Twitch Turbo. YouTube, of course, they now have, what do they call it? Premium Lite or something like that. That gives you the ad-free viewing, but without YouTube Music. Which, since I don't use YouTube Music, that's, for me, that would be fine if I had the cash to pay to do that right now. And the nice thing about those services is, like Turbo, I mean, I just had an ad go off on Twitch here just a minute ago. And, or a few minutes ago. And if you're a Turbo viewer, I still get a little bit of ad revenue for that. Even though you didn't watch the ad, Twitch pays me as if you did. Okay. So, that's kind of nice. It said you can still support the creators you like watching and be ad-free, which is nice. Man, I'll tell you, every once in a while, I've gone back to watch something with ads, like TV with ads, whether it's regular TV or like Pluto, because occasionally there's been something over there. I was watching Stargate over there for a while. Oh, we're at Y10. We might finish this tonight. Oh, I think we might. That would be awesome. Unfortunately, AdBlock doesn't work on Pluto. It does work on Tubi. So, if you're into watching stuff over there. That's how you watch it with Turbo? Yeah. Yeah, and it makes sense, right? There are some people that are, you really want to support special, or I suppose maybe you just really like their emotes, but so you can support them extra. Okay, which is awesome, right? Support the creators you like. It's, he says selfishly. No, it's awesome for that. Believe me, if I had the spare cash, Twitch Turbo would definitely be one of the things I would be signed up for. Twitch Turbo and said probably YouTube's premium light service. Okay, we're getting down to Deep Slate, which is going to slow us down just a little bit. It's going to back. Also, this is not ideal. All right. Oh, yep, there's Skulk Veins. That's not great. That's true. That's true. That's true. You are an awesome sub over there on Twitch. Oh, and I'm using the right pickaxe. Yay! Oh, that's digging too far. Okay. I'm not using the Silk Touch pickaxe on Deep Slate, so yay! My pickaxe is starting to die, but, that's fine. Oh, we only have about 6 more layers to go here, so we're getting there. Why did I decide to make this farm so big? Because I'm greedy, that's why. I want iron. I want lots and lots of iron. Okay. I come help, but you're too used to your completely unbreakable pick. Yeah, that's fair. Oh, and I've got I have villagers with unbreaking, but and mending and stuff. We can. But that's all right. I am so close to being done here. I'm at Y4. I want to get down to Y0. Hey, Lion. How's it going? I hope you're having a fabulous day. Yeah, this is going to be for an iron farm. So I'm going to set it up. I'm going to be stacking probably 6 or so sets of villagers going up there. And all that good stuff. Also, I should see if I can... Do I have anything set up here to actually be able to do this? But, yeah. Sprite, will you give Lion a shout out over there on Twitch? White Lion is an awesome streamer. I was hanging out in her stream a little bit earlier today. You might have to do actually Twitch's / shout out. I don't think I copied the SO commands over. But yeah. Okay. So yeah, so I'm going to take this down. I'm taking it down to Y0, and we are so close to that. So I'm going to have to come through and... yeah. Hey, no worries. No worries. I do like to shout out those people I like to watch. You were doing some cool stuff with... of course, you were getting all diggy too, weren't you? Yeah, we were dealing with some stuff under your what's that giant oh, I'm blanking on the name of the fish, but yeah, almost done. Nice. Yeah, Lion builds some pretty awesome organics and stuff, so. It's a koi. Yes, thank you. I'm looking at it, it's like salmon. It's not a salmon. It's like something cool. Salmon isn't cool. But yeah, the deep slate sucks. But we're almost there. Yeah, I'm kind of with you with that, Lion. I kind of wish the deep slate would, or the netherite would go through the deep slate. Like, we get some benefits from netherite in, like, armor, right? You get knockback protection and things like that. I would love it if netherite tools would insta-mine deep slate. Salmon are pretty... I guess so. I'm not much of a fish guy, so I'll... Alright. We're so close. So close. And then we can head back up to the surface and enjoy the fact that we're on the surface. Yeah, I think... So if I can get this dug out, then we can start worrying about getting the farm in place. That's why you added that digging mod on the server. Okay. Oh, I got too used to create mod. Where for a minute there, I thought that was limestone, which is fun. I am really missing my drills from create mod right now. I'll tell you. Am I adding the autocrafter? Well, I have the autocrafter already in the world. Because this is 1.27. Or 1.21.7, so we're not quite at the latest version, but close enough. All right, you know what? No, I will do it. I'm gonna go down with one more level. But I am definitely missing the drill. Yeah, in fact, I'm doing some really cool stuff with the ghast and the creaking. When I get back up to the surface, I'll show you, because it is really awesome. Okay, come on. I can do it. I can place blocks. I'm totally capable of placing blocks. Okay. Woohoo! Oh man, I had a. Oh yes, the Happy Gas Bridge is so cool. No, when I said in Create Mod, I had set up this nice vertical drill that was just. It cleaned out like an 8x8 section just straight to bedrock. And that would have been amazing here, but no, I had to play vanilla because vanilla just had awesome things that I wanted to be playing with, so. But yeah, it's nice, but that was a fun world. I really liked it. Using Create Mod to make all the foods and stuff was really, really awesome, but I was getting a little bit bored. In some ways, a lot of the machines were just becoming the same machine over and over again, and that got a little boring, so. But the city was cool when it was done, and now I'm ready to I'm back in vanilla, and boy, between the Happy Ghast and the new Copper Golem, oh man, I am so excited. Yep. No, that's 100% right, Lion, is just enjoy what you're doing. We were just talking about that a minute ago, is, you know, it's okay to like what you like. You know, some days I'm, and that's part of the reason I jumped into Create Mod is I was getting a little bit, not quite burnt out on what I was doing in vanilla, but I was really wanting to get back into Create. All right, we are down where we need to be. So let's see if I can actually fly out of here. But woohoo! Yes, made it. All right. Woohoo! All right. This door is powered by creaking, which is really cool. It's a player detector, so even if a zombie is wandering here, this door won't open for him. Yeah, and I have no idea, Lion, how you can jump between worlds like you do. Yeah. Say, there's my Happy Ghast Bridge, which is really fun. So, yeah, here, let me sleep the night away here real quick. I've got another thing here. Let me turn it, let me sleep and then I'll turn it on because it's fun. The lore around this area is, yeah, it's a very futuristic thing. They've harnessed the power of the Happy Ghast. So, okay, there we go. Just takes a minute. So here, if I free cam in here, you can see I've got creaking. Oops, there, yeah, I've got creaking in here. And when you look at them, they sink down and hit the pressure plate. And when you're not looking at them, they float. Which is cool. But I've got this little area up here. Yeah. Turn it on because it's just cool. Where I've got guardians around the outside that target the squid. There we go. And then, and my Happy Ghast here in the middle. Woohoo! Oh, and now I'm on a roof, so I can't see anything. Okay, there we go. And so we've got this fun little, this is my gas reactor. What I'm going to do is when I set up my storage with the copper golems, I'm going to pull signal off the copper chests, I think. And so turn this machine on so all the lasers are going when the storage is functioning. So when the golems are sorting things and stuff, this will turn on. So that's, I think it's going to be really cool. So yeah. So, you know, it's fun. I'm going to, and you know, of course we've got the Guardian in there. I'm going to do a little bit more, I think, on this, because I think I want to try to hide the squid just a little bit more than I'm doing. I do like their little tentacles showing up down here, though. It adds a little bit of, it just adds a cool vibe to this, you know? But I think that's going to be a fun way of, one, just indicating that the storage is running. And it just looks cool. Ah! Okay. I guess I live down here now. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a gear look, Lion. Yeah, and no, Sprite is right. I don't entirely, oops, that does need to be off. I don't entirely trust the squid. It's probably fine. I'm a little bit worried that if the chunks unload at the wrong time, the squid will stop in the middle. You know, it's somewhere in the middle there, and then the squid die. So, because minecarts are funky that way, so we're just going to deal with it. Now, I could deal with it a different way. It's like I could have pistons that come up and down, so the squid would, or the guardians would stay in the same place, and then you just get the lasers, and then it would close, right? That would be reliable, but it just looks cool with the lasers going around the sides. So, you know, we're gonna go with that. This was inspired in part by a build Impulse SV has going on his in Hermitcraft 10 right now. He did his vertical, but I decided to do this one horizontal. But it's the same idea. You know, you got the guardians going around. They want to zap the squid, and then I just break the line of sight long enough so that they never actually go to, I am going to make squid kebabs. So yeah. So yeah, this is, yeah, Impulse is cool. I like Impulse. So yeah, so this is the beginning of this section of the world. I started this world renovating an ancient city, which I got a little burnt out on, and that's when I went and played Create for a while. And then, yeah, and now I'm out here in this Badlands and doing all sorts of, said cyberpunk isn't quite the feel, but definitely a very futuristic type vibe. And I've been making it a point, like, to try to hide my nether portals in the mountains like this. Like, this one is here, and I've got one up here behind me. So it, like, the mountains here seem very magical, or like we're pulling energy or something from this. It's very cool. So yeah, I like the futuristic vibe I've got going on here. It's, I mean, maybe not so much inside my little base here, but yeah, it's fun. I said I like where this is going. Yeah, no, I spent a couple of hours flying around this area to find the right sort of valley that I could build this sort of flying city in. And the idea, I'm going to build more underneath this platform, but it's going to be the bottom of whatever this flying thing is. I'm probably going to capture a couple more ghasts and do some other things just to be sort of the floating power bits. Again, the idea is that they have taken the happy ghast and are using it to power things. I was doing some planning, and I know I never planned, but I've been doing some planning. Inside this hill is going to be a creeper farm, and I think I'm going to set up another ghast bridge heading out that way. It's going to be creepers and sugarcane. So I'll basically be making a rocket factory over there. And so I like having the idea of all sorts of good stuff just to support, yeah, what's going on. And you know, it's like, I watched some people like Good Times with Scar in particular is good about it. It's like he has a real theme. He actually builds up the lore and all of the story behind his builds. I don't tend to get that crazy with it, but it's such a nice way of informing yourself of, yeah, this is what I want my build to look like and why I want my build to look the way it does. Like I chose this painting to hide the creaking because it's got a little bit of a futuristic monitor vibe, right? Oh, absolutely, Lion. Mumbo Jumbo. Mumbo started doing that this year. Pearl is really great with it. Actually, most of the hermits are really great with it. So I've been trying to learn a little bit from their approach. But the way this world started, hang on, let me drop this off. Here, let me jump out through the nether, and I'll show you the city where I started here, because this was fun. That way. Woohoo! And you know, when you build in an ancient city, you end up surprisingly short on things like stone and dirt, right? Because turns out there isn't a lot of that when you're down at that level. Yeah, I'm a little ways away. Yeah, it's not something I would have thought about either. It was just, as I was building and doing things, I realized I don't have stone. Here I am trying to do something redstone-y, and I had no stone or cobblestone to make repeaters or droppers or things like that. Oh, there's my gold farm. This is a fun little gold farm because I freeze the piglins. Right? They'll spawn up here, and I drop them into powdered snow, just like you might do with a froglight farm. So, you know, fun stuff. Maybe not the fastest gold farm in the world, but, you know, fun. All right. I've been all about the fun farms here lately, you know. All right. Sorry, it's a little ways down. All right. And I think I'll turn the gamma override on down here so it's a little bit easier to see, but so I took over one of these little buildings here for my villagers and stuff. But back behind there, I've got all my farms, melons, pumpkins, veggies and stuff. This holds a cactus farm, and it's very square. This is a very blocky build. This is a wool farm. There's a little more detail along the sides and stuff. Over here, this is a villager breeder, and it holds my clerics. Right, got a sugarcane farm over this way. And of course, you know, custom cherry tree. But yeah, lots of fun stuff out this way. Oh, crash. Got a nice okay. Yep. Basic Minecraft skills. I don't have them. You know, over here I've got my nice little chorus fruit farm, and this little wall I've got a furnace array behind it. Yeah, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted this area to feel alive. Like, if I turn off the gamma override, see, it gets really dark. But it's the deep dark, right? These ancient cities are dark. And I figured the best way to bring life to them would be to use bright colors. So this is actually, it's filled with wool, right? It's a wool wall. I wanted this to be like a mural, right? Which is why it's got this very flat vibe to it. Also, the portal just looks really cool over there, right? And over this way, I started experimenting. This building has my masons and stuff in it. Not many, just a handful for things like glazed terracotta and stuff like that. Oh yeah, those. Yeah, you don't. I don't have them on this side. This side you just have the obsidian. But I just built here back behind these reinforced. What do they call this? Reinforced deep slate. And so it turns the portal into a portal. But I started experimenting over here. Yeah, converting the existing, right? These existing, I don't know, promenades into fun stuff. So I got really crazy with the colors, with purple and this purple and teal and all of this stuff, which is honestly a little crazy. And actually this is where I realized that the pearlescent frog lights, it's the same purple as the purple blocks. Yeah, no, Sprite is totally obsessed with the purple, so she was all about it. But yeah, it ends up being this really cool thing, and I was flooding the city. Because for some reason that seemed like a really good idea to me. But yeah, so this combination of like the end blocks and right, all of this end stone and the warped logs and the purple, it just ended up bringing this really bright and colorful and sort of weird, and okay, I'm purple now, weird feel, but I'm all about it, right? Plus, you know, the hanging signs for the railings and stuff. So I was doing a lot down here, but I said I needed a break from this, so I went and played Create Mod for a while. But I didn't want to come back to the city, but I didn't want to start over. So that's why I'm now in the Badlands. But it means I'm not starting over. So I've got things like my moss farm over here. You know, so I've got all the moss and, you know, my skulk and creeper farm stuff. I'm going to check out this cave. This cave is insane. Oh, yeah, exactly. And there are times I may come and build stuff over here. I don't know. But, because maybe inspirational strike. It's like, I need to put this in the city. This cave, this goes all the way to the surface. Like, there are, like, right over here, you can kind of see it. Yeah, that's surface right there. And this cave is huge. And the whole bottom of it, obviously, is deep dark. So it's, that area is sort of spawn proof, but obviously there's lots of spawning areas. And I've got a little slime farm here. I've got some slime chunks over there. But this is a giant flippin' cave. Like, if you wanted to get out here and actually build like an underground society or something like that, this would be an amazing place to do that. It's like, so Super, anytime you took a break, you start a new build. Right, yeah. It's like, you don't have to start over. And I wasn't totally keen on doing all of the early game stuff again. So it's like, you know what? I actually really want to build in a Badlands. And so I said, all right, let's do this. So yeah. So this is where I started, and this one said this building I took a little bit more of a, not quite a Japanese inspired, but sort of, with the shape of the roof and stuff. And some of the bamboo and things like that, but that's why you have so many places. Yeah. But I can't jump between worlds. Like, I see you jump between like what's it? Puppycraft and Mob and all that stuff. It's like, wow, I can't do that. Oh yeah, the bamboo blocks, you could do some fun stuff with it. Oh, okay. Stream joke. What do Alexander the Great and Winnie the Pooh have in common? Same middle name. Okay. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, so the bamboo blocks are fun. And you can do some cool things with the bamboo plants as well. But you know, fun stuff here. This comes up. I just threw a little bit of sugarcane up here for some decorative nonsense. You know, I have a hard time sometimes with details and stuff. I said this cactus farm over here, it's just a big block, but anyway, it's fun. I said this is a little iron farm, which I'm going to be replacing because it generates iron, but not while I'm gone, and not very much. So, oh, thank you, Lion. I appreciate that. So, yeah. So anyway, so that's the. So this is where I started, and then said it's back at the Badlands for all of the crazy stuff over there. But yeah, I'm going to need a lot of iron over there because I'm going to be building a sorting system. So that means there's going to be a lot of hoppers, which is a lot of iron. And then I think I'm going to be using iron blocks for some of the exterior decor. Yeah, say my tree farm's over here too. Yeah, so turn that off now. So, you know, it's a thing. Cactus farm gives you sort of a darker themed portal. Right, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So yeah, I'm going to be going with that sort of look because I'm going to be using that. You could see it a little bit in the wall I started over there where the creaking door is, where I'm using the green terracotta. I'm going to have at least 3 floors in this build. The first floor is going to be storage. The next floor is going to be villagers. And the third floor is going to be probably farms. Like a honey farm or probably honeycomb farm. I'll set up my brewing, an automatic brewer up there. I don't do a lot with potions, but it'll be nice to have. And maybe a few other things. I might even do some, decorative nonsense, do actual interiors and things, who knows? Gotta stand in the portal if you want to go through it, it's weird like that. The other thing I found is these happy ghasts. They don't tend to move around a lot if they've got something on top of them. I know, interiors, it's crazy. So speaking of interiors, you park a happy ghast like that, I have curtains. This would be perfect for like an auditorium or something. Right? But that it looks like gently wafting curtains. So if you can get your happy ghasts parked correctly, it's just like crazy. Yes, yes, the potion auto crafter, which was a completely vanilla build. And yes, I had shulker boxes full of potions. But yeah, check that out. I just have it parked. I've got a piston that closes behind it so the gas stays put, but he doesn't really move. The gas just kind of sits there, and so you get that doesn't that look like those top curtains you would get? Like you're at a theater, there's the black, but you've got the little top portion there. That's 100% what that looks like. So yeah, I don't know that I'm going to do anything with that here, but I was looking at that, just the way that gas just sort of sat there. It's like, yeah, that's 100% what that looks like. So yeah, so it's going to be cool. So the plan here is we'll get storage here, and then I'm going to do another floor. So you're walking along the top of the reactor. This is where the villagers are going to be, up this way. And then said I'll go up one more layer and do other things. Yeah, if I use the red saddle, 100%. Because you think how to use Minecraft animals. Yeah. Well, I said, this bridge, this was the first thing I built here. I had to build a little bit of this platform so I knew where it was going to go, but it has this very, I said, futuristic energy bridge vibe, and then with the ghasts, I had to be sure I got them in the right place, because you can totally, okay, I can't, but somebody with skill. Okay, I'm going to live here in the redstone now. But you don't need an elytra. Hang on, go away. You don't need an elytra to make these jumps. It's just a block or a block and a quarter to get all the way up. So yeah, and it's cool. And by tucking the nether portals in, so you get this cool little purple glow from places. So yeah, one of the things I'm thinking about doing, and I may do it right over this way. This goes all the way down, almost to the, well, it goes a long way down. I've got a nether portal down there that goes into the nether proper. I'm thinking of building an elevator that uses a happy ghast that's got a camel hanging from it, and you just hop on the camel, hit a button. Oh, there's a hot chicken. And that elevator would then bring you up. And you just ride the camel up. Right? And so that would be really cool, right? So, because you can't, when you're standing on the happy ghast, it doesn't move at all. Doesn't matter what you got going on. But if you're underneath it, if you're sitting on a camel that it's carrying, then, or pigs in a boat or something like that, then the ghast will go up and down based off your water stream all day. So it becomes a fun elevator. I'm going to put a bubble vader over here, because that's how I'm going to get villagers up this way. But, so I've got lots of ideas, but first, we got to get the iron farm done. So that's what's going to happen on Thursday. But the villagers aren't going to be too bad. I had a villager breeder back in the ancient city. I'll truck them over the nether roof, and it'll be good. Oh yeah, the dangling. Yes, the bouncy llama cafe on that other server. Yeah. But all that said, it is about time for me to call it a day, because it's getting late. So yeah, that cafe was fun. I had bouncy llamas. It was crazy. But I do need to give a shout out to my supporters over at musicfreegaming.com, because they are, as the sign says, both awesome and amazing at the same time. The next stream is going to be Thursday, 6 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, so be sure to check that action out. And I'll be continuing work on the iron farm, because, that's just what I do. So until next time, be excellent to each other. And this is Music Free Gaming signing off. I can even say grammar words. It happens sometimes. But anyway, this is Music Free Gaming signing off.